So here is my new rig in situ. It's the comprising of the Silverstone GD05 case with a micro ATX motherboard. The CPU is an FX 6300, the video card GTX 760, and I've put a Blu-ray drive in there, although I haven't yet got the software to run the Blu-rays, just DVDs at the moment, but I'll work on that. It looks alright. I've got it here next to my surround sound speakers, my PS3. We've got the Skybox underneath and various bits and pieces. It seems to look at home there. Quite like the look of it. And it's below my TV. Currently running a little benchmarking test, and yeah, it's looking good. One or two things I did do, sort of custom it, you might say, is I put a couple of blue LED strips in each side, just behind the fans, so you might be able to see, if I can get it about there, you might be able to see one of the strips inside the case, which gives, it's not very clear here, but it gives a bit of a blue glow, particularly good at night time. The other one around the side there, again another blue strip just behind the fan, which gives a nice little blue glow. Just thought needed a little bit of colour, a little bit of lighting up, as it was looking a bit of a black box. But to be fair, that's what I wanted it for, to look in place below the television, which I'll be using this as a kind of a steam box, equivalent to a steam box, instead of buying a PS4 or Xbox One. It has cost a little more than I first budgeted for, because of 2 or 3 reasons. I added the Blu-ray drive, which I wasn't intending to do. I was intending to simply rob a DVD drive from a previous build, but unfortunately connections were well out of date, and don't have SATA connections, so I've had to buy a new one, and I figured I might as well pay a few more quid and get a Blu-ray drive. Didn't anticipate on software not coming with it, but there we go. Also, originally I thought I could get a Windows OS, but free of charge, but unfortunately it's not worked out that way. But I don't mind, for the sake of whatever it is, 40 or 50 quid. That's okay. I did try Windows 10, which worked out quite good. Really impressed with Windows 10, but unfortunately still a little bit unstable, and probably about a day after I loaded it onto my PC, unfortunately it wouldn't boot up properly, and had to wipe the whole disk, start afresh. So I thought I'd load up a stable OS, and didn't want Windows 8, so went back to Windows 7. But yeah, it's all working pretty good. Benchmarking score there, 1008. And say standard settings. Might try HD resolution next, see how that goes, but it's not too bad. Very pleased with it. The only thing I haven't yet got is wireless keyboard, wireless mouse. At the moment I'm just sort of making do with a wired connection. They might arrive today, being Wednesday the 31st of December, but then again they might not, I don't know. Other than that, I'm looking to hook up the PS3 controller wirelessly through a Bluetooth dongle. Got to look into that a bit more. I've got a few dongles floating about there. Maybe one of them's compatible, maybe not, I don't know. I've got to research that. If not, I'll buy one off the net. But yeah, it's all good. Very pleased with it. End total was around about 600. Bit more than I had originally thought, as I say, but well worth it. Very pleased with it. So yeah, Onto the internals of this this rig, and I'll open that up off camera. Right, and here's the internal workings of the PC, and I'll take it round to the back to start with. The motherboard, which is an MSI 760 GMA P34 FX. On top we have a Blu-ray drive, doubling up as DVD writer, CD writer, that kind of thing. And then we have plugged into the middle of the case, we have the MSI video card 760 GTX, which was a bit of a pain because if I get down to the level of the top of the case, you will see that the heat pipes actually stick a couple of millimeters above the casing, but fortunately the lid of the case just about covers that. The second issue I had with the video card is the power leads, cables going into it, which when originally they were plugged in, they were actually on top, they poked out even above the heat pipe. But what I had to do there is cut down the sides of the plugs using a bit of insulation tape, as well, to protect any bare wires, as there was a little bit, and I managed to put them fairly flat in there. The other issue I had with the video card, which you may not be able to see, if I get down there, that's probably the best angle. Now, next to that white plug and the yellow cable, there is actually another row of SATA sockets, and the second 6GB SATA socket, which I'm using for my second hard drive, is actually below the video card, which was a pain in the arse because a normal SATA cable plugged into that socket meant that the video card didn't fit properly. It was sticking up and wouldn't go down flush with the socket on the circuit board. However, I managed to find a low profile SATA right angled cable, which managed to fit below there. So now that allows me to have two 6GB per second SATA drives. One's an SSD, which you can't see very well, but it's plugged in between the 1TB hard drive on the bottom there that you can see. Between that and sandwiched to the plate is a solid state drive there. That's a Intel Cherryville 120GB solid state drive, and that goes down there. I'll show you something else while I'm there. That there is a little concoction I made up just so that the blue LED strip on the left hand side of the case fits and stays there quite nicely, and there is a second one which is below the DVD Blu-ray drive cover under there, and again that's on a little stalk so that it doesn't get bent over and whatever underneath the drive and the hard drive over here. So once that is, one last thing, whilst that, which says Win TV, that's not actually connected because I've only put that in there to see and test whether or not another PCI card could go into the computer. Reason being is because, you probably can't see it, but just in the middle of the screen there, but sandwiched between the PSU and the video card, there is a PCI card slot there, which I am intending to put a video capture card in there at some point in the future, so that I can use this whole PC as a PVR, as well as a home theatre PC and gaming PC as well. But I couldn't see that I'd be able to fit in a video card down there. There is a spare slot exactly for this kind of thing that sits above the PSU, and at the moment, whilst it's got that card there, I'm not going to, as I say, I'm not going to connect that up. That is simply just to test whether or not a card would fit in that slot, what with all the cables and wires running around it, which it does. So that's cool. And obviously I'll connect that with the actual slot via an extension cable of some sort. Okay, so apart from the hardware that I've just described, I'm also going to be hooking up a wireless keyboard, wireless mouse. I'm going to download a program to run a PS3 controller wirelessly as well, and I'm going to be sitting over there whilst facing up there to play my games and so on. So yeah, it's all worked out quite well, and yeah, hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you.